Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips and ways that personally help me be less cluttered, my house less cluttered, and just overall more organized. So if you are just tired of having just crap all over your house, you're feeling stressed out, you're feeling overwhelmed, this video is definitely for you. And I'm actually feeling that way right now, so I just need to get back to basics, and I need to get back in those good habits and those good routines that I normally do that helps me and my house stay clutter-free and just more organized. I feel like clutter around your house can be such a source of anxiety and just feeling like trapped. And personally, I just feel so much lighter and just so much more productive when everything's in order and there's no clutter and things are organized. I just feel like my mind just works better when things are like that. So some of these things are not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? So I'm gonna talk about my top 5. A lot of them are pretty obvious, but some of them, it's just easier said than done. So number 1, this is an obvious one, however, it is very hard, and that is to buy less and implement a first in, first out rule. So I'll just give you a really quick, simple example. So I bought this shampoo and conditioner that was okay, but then I saw another one when I was at Target and it smelled good and I was like, I can't wait to use it. And then before I knew it, I had like 3 or 4 in my shower. That's completely ridiculous. So I need to get back to basics where I use what I have, I get through it, unless of course it's awful, then you want to just go ahead and discard it. I'm not saying force yourself to use something that doesn't work for you or that you can't stand, but it's so easy to get caught up in the next best thing, or you know, if I have this shampoo, it's gonna do this for my hair, when every time you try something new, it's really not that great, and then you end up just wanting to buy more and more. So that's the first trick that I have. It's to buy less and first in, first out, get through what you have, use up what you have before going and buying new. Another example of this would be my fall candle collection. So what I do is I set limits. I have an area in my house, and this actually ties into number 5 that I have on this list, but we can talk about that later. So I have an area of my house where I keep my candles. So that means that those are the candles I have. I need to use them up. I cannot buy any more. I cannot expand my collection past the designated area that I have set aside in my house. That personally works the best for me. But when it comes to my fall candles, I have a tendency to go out and get carried away, and I just need to remind myself, okay, I need to rein in a little bit. What I need to do is just go through the ones I have, and then once I get there, I can go out and I can get a new candle. Another example of this, I'll just use boots, for example. So say you have 3 pairs of black boots and you saw really cute ones at the store and you wanted to buy them. Okay, well, you already have 3 pairs at home, so something needs to give. So what I personally do is if I want to get something new, I either need to declutter what I have. If it's in good condition, I can go ahead and maybe sell it and make a couple of bucks. And another one that's really good with the buy less for me personally is like bronzers and blushes. I'll see something at the store and I want to get a new bronzer, but I have my makeup section in my bathroom, and if I don't have any more room, I don't get any more, so it forces me to use up what I have. Now this can be for anything, like things in your garage. If you have a bunch of toys and things like that, it's always good to use what you have before going and getting something new. So number 2 on my list is to get rid of duplicates. So an easy one for this could be scissors. You could have 6 pairs of scissors in your house. Maybe you only need 1 pair upstairs and 1 pair downstairs, so that eliminates 4. Ice cream scoops, maybe you have 2, you really only need 1. Pizza cutters, you don't need 3 pizza cutters. Like different kitchen appliances and kitchen gadgets, maybe you have multiples of those. Another one that's a big one is Tupperware. Go through your Tupperware and see what you really need. Do you really need 20? Is that realistic? Another one is pens. You don't need 50 pens. And I have that same mindset too sometimes, where I'll have a bunch of them and then I'll put them, like say up in my office, and I'll put them away, and then you'll have them when you need them. But if it's causing you like distress or like you have too much, you might want to just get rid of it. And that's what I've been doing a lot in my office, is like going through all my office supplies, and I had like resume paper, I had random stuff that I'm never gonna use again. Maybe I had it in college, maybe I had it for one project and it's just been sitting in there for 5 years. You don't need like duplicates of all these things. And of course, all of this is within reason, right? So I'm not saying, if you have 3 of something, get rid of everything but 1. So for example, like black sweaters, that's an item where I need a few black sweaters, so I might keep all 3 of those. But if you have multiples of the same thing like jeans, I urge you to go through, see what you can declutter. If something's in good condition, you can go ahead and sell it on Poshmark. That's what I've been doing. I have a ton of stuff that I put aside that I'm gonna be selling on Poshmark, and it's a source of stress for me right now because it's causing a ton of clutter in my office. And I haven't decided how long I'm gonna hang on to this stuff, where I just say, you know what, bag it up and donate it and be done. Probably like another 6 months. I might give myself like a full year, but if you don't have the room, then I definitely, wouldn't recommend hanging on for stuff. Like the stuff that you're planning on selling and you've been trying to sell it or do something with it. But I'll get more into that later on in this list. So my third tip is to find a home for every single item in your house. Know where it goes, and then set limits within that space. So here's a perfect example. This was just random on my desk. I know where this goes in my house. If you have something similar to this, or maybe some Scotch tape and you're not sure exactly where it goes, then you're gonna have a lot of work because you're gonna need to find a designated space for those items. I have a ton of different videos on organization. I will link my playlist up above and down below in the cards if you want to check it out. But I find that as long as I have a home for something and it's out, I'm not too worried about it because I know exactly where it goes when I'm done. It has a spot, it's put away. This is everything from your closets, so coat closets, to your clothing, to your kids' closets, to any closet you have in your house, linen closet, pantry, toys, kitchen. Everything should have a spot within those areas. And then once you have a spot for everything, set limits within that space. So like I had mentioned earlier with my candles, I have a designated space in my home. It can only hold X amount of candles. Once I've gone over that, I know that I have too much stuff and something's got to give somewhere. So just set limits. So for your clothing closet, for example, if your closet's like bursting at the seams and you just don't have any room for anything, it's not always about needing more space within your house. It's just about looking and saying, okay, what am I loving? What am I wearing? What do I feel good in? What's old, what can go, and just kind of reevaluating all of your stuff and tweaking it. So you might need to declutter some things, and that's okay, but you want everything within your home and within your space to be things that you really like and that you really use and that are functional. So a big one for this right now is our playroom, and it is bursting at the seams a little bit. And my little guy, he's getting to the age now, he's gonna be 1 next month, and he's gonna want his own toys, and there's not much room for his stuff. So we've been explaining to my daughter, this is your section, and then these bins are gonna be for your brother, so you need to go through and look at what you're really liking, and some of those things are gonna have to go. You can't save everything. So I think that's the hardest part, is parting with things, the emotional attachment that you have sometimes. But that's just the first step, I think, is accepting, okay, I'm gonna actually have to get rid of some of this stuff. So it's definitely not easy. It's just making that first step towards like letting that attachment go, or that I might need it again go, if that makes sense. So my fourth tip is to get rid of the things that you've been planning on getting rid of. This one is like, I'm so guilty of this. I've been guilty of it. Been staring at this stuff for like the past 4 months now, and it's a source of stress because it's constantly in my face. It's in my office. I'm looking at it every day, and I need to just list it on Poshmark, try to sell it, and then donate the rest of the stuff. Instead, I'm staring at it because it doesn't have a place, or it's like decor and I'm not using it right now, and it's from the old house and I'm probably not going to use it again, but I'm just kind of hanging on to it. I'm in that in-between stage, so I just need to move on it. So I've labeled everything that I'm going to be selling in bins, and then the rest of the stuff I need to just take and donate. So maybe this space for you is in your basement, maybe it's in your attic. You just throw things down there you don't feel like dealing with right now. but eventually you're gonna have to deal with them or someone else is, and you don't really wanna put that burden on someone else. So it's better to just try to deal with it and just get it out of the way. I have a bunch of stuff up in my attic I have to go through and clear it out. That's the one thing that's good about we've moved like every 4 years for the past 10 years. I don't think we're moving anymore right now, but it forced us to go through everything we had. So I was able to declutter a lot of things, and that's an obvious one. You need to keep up with it. So you need to like purge often and that kind of thing. Just know what's coming in your house. So my last tip, number 5, that really helps is tackle the clutter and the things that come into your house. So as soon as they come in, don't even give them a chance to stay and get comfortable. For example, like your mail that you bring in every day. Go through it right then and there, sort it. Don't just let it pile up. Go through it. You do a little bit at a time so you don't have to do a lot at once, because then you're overwhelmed and it's too much. So every day, bring the mail in, go through it, sort it, do what you need to do with it. Maybe you have a filing system, but just take care of it right then and there. The same with like school projects. I've told my daughter, we have one project at a time hanging on the refrigerator, so every week she can switch to a new one and then I dispose of it. If it's something really special, I will keep it for the most part. All I do is I'll just take a picture of it, and then that's kind of the way that we keep it, so then I can still see it and that kind of thing. But to physically hold on to all those projects, it's a lot of clutter. So like other random things that might come in, like freebies, giveaways. Maybe you went to like a work event and they gave you a bunch of stuff and you bring it in, you're like, I don't even know what to do with this. Just get rid of it right away. Deal with it right then and there. And another one that's big is people like to give you things that you don't really want, and you're like, yeah, okay, thank you. And it's hard, but you know, it's just them pushing their clutter onto you. So I've been better about that. Just be upfront, and you know, no one should be offended if you just say, no, thank you, I don't need that. Or if they do give it to you and you decide you want to declutter that, then that's your prerogative. So that's another thing. Don't take on other people's clutter. So that's everything. I think what it comes down to is just, you know, good habits and getting into routines. And those are the hardest things, is just getting there and starting. Once you get into a routine, obviously you need the help of others around you, because it can become a lot. But if you stop buying so much, you won't have so much to have to organize and to declutter, which I'm super guilty of, but I do put the work in, so I feel like it's not that bad. But I do know that like I have limits, so things have a space. So for my makeup collection, for example, I have that space, and then once it becomes like busting over where there's no room to put my lip glosses, I have sections to keep everything, then I need to go through and I need to declutter some. And if there's something that I want to buy, I really need to go through and I need to declutter it. So I hope that these tips helped you, and I hope you guys got something out of this video. And again, I will link my playlist down below if you want to check out some of my decluttering or organizing videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.